Hi guys, this is Mrs. Taylor, and this week we're going to be taking a look at percents again, and this time specifically looking at how do we write percents as fractions and how do we write percents as decimals. It's important to be able to move from each of those forms. So if you remember, percent is a ratio comparing a number to 100. So if I were to take the percent 25%, I know that this is 25 hundredths, 25 out of 100. So I'm going to write that as a fraction or as a ratio, 25 to 100. In this fraction form, we can divide it by the greatest common factor of 25. 25 divided by 25 is 1. 100 divided by 25 is 4. So the fraction 1/4 is equivalent to the percent 25%. So how does this look like in a decimal form? Well, every percent has a decimal at the end. Well, in this particular case, it has one at the end. Even though you don't see it, it's there. So I'm going to put it there so you can see it. And we're going to divide it by 100 to move the decimal. When we divide by 100, the decimal gets moved 2 places to the left. So I'm going to take that decimal and go 1, 2 places and put it in front of the 2. So now my decimal is in front of the 2 and there is no more percent symbol. So this is the decimal 0.25 and we're going to read it as 25 hundredths, tenths, hundredths. The 5 is in the hundredths place. So when we read it as 25 hundredths, we can clearly hear this fraction. So we know that they are all equal. 25%, 25 hundredths, and 1/4 are all equivalent amounts, just written in different forms. Now let's take a look at another percent. We're going to start off this time with 12.5%. Some of you may be thinking, well, this is a decimal. Well, it's not a decimal. It's a percent that has a decimal in it. So we want to start off with wondering, how does this look like as a decimal number without the percent sign? So we can't just erase the decimal and erase the percent sign. We have to divide by 100 to move that decimal. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to divide this by 100. We're going to move the decimal over 2 places. So our decimal form, 0.125. There's no more percent sign. 0.125 is 125 thousandths. Remember, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. The 5 is in the thousandths place. If you say that over and over again, 125 thousandths, you'll begin to hear the fraction, 125 thousandths. Now we have this fraction that's equal to this decimal that's equal to this percent. And now what we want to do is we want to divide. We're going to divide by 25. Divide by 25, and that gives me 5. And I know that 25 can go into 100 4 times, so 25 can go into 1,000 40 times. And I'm like, oh, I could probably simplify that one more time. I'm going to divide this by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So you see, the fraction doesn't even look like the percent or the decimal, but it is equivalent because of our simplified process. So the fraction 1/8 is equivalent to the decimal 125 thousandths, and that is equivalent to the percent 12.5%. We're going to continue to practice changing percents to decimals and percents to fractions this week.